I'm announcing two sets of charges: the guilty plea of another former city council member and the indictment of a local real estate developer. I'll take them one at a time. Starting with the guilty plea, just a couple of hours ago, former Dallas City Council member Carolyn Davis pleaded guilty to accepting more than $40,000 in bribes while serving as a council member. According to her plea papers, between 2013 and 2015, she actively sought out these bribes from a locally based real estate developer who stood to benefit from her support of his low-income housing project. In return for the money, plus the offer of a consulting contract once she departed from the council, Davis admitted that she voted to authorize a $2.5 million development loan to fund the Royal Crest housing project, which at the time was actively competing with another project. Councilmember Davis also wielded her considerable influence as chair of the Dallas Housing Committee in Royal Crest's favor, lobbying in support of a 9% tax credit application. She also actively advocated for the project with the Dallas housing officials. Davis admitted that she did not disclose any of these payments to the Housing Committee or the City Council, and today she pleaded guilty to one count of conspiracy to commit bribery. Turning next to the local real estate developer, we have unsealed the indictment of the alleged bribe payer, Mr. Rule Hamilton, a principal with the Amerisouth Realty Group, and the developer behind the Royal Crest housing project. According to the charging document, Mr. Hamilton allegedly paid about a quarter of Councilmember Davis's bribe money, almost $11,000 in cash, often immediately after he withdrew the money from his bank account. The indictment details these discussions between Mr. Hamilton and Councilmember Davis. The remaining 75% of the bribe money, roughly $29,500, was funneled through a not-for-profit entity that served as an intermediary. Now, the flow of the money is depicted in the visuals that you have in your packets. In an ultimately unsuccessful attempt to disguise the payments, Mr. Hamilton allegedly made out the checks to the nonprofit, but handed those checks to Councilmember Davis. Councilmember Davis then gave the checks to the owner of the nonprofit, who cashed the checks and gave the majority of the amount of money back to Councilmember Davis. Now, the indictment details the allegations between Mr. Hamilton and Ms. Davis. But the Councilmember Davis isn't the only public official Mr. Hamilton is accused of bribing. In count 2 of the indictment, we allege that Mr. Hamilton also paid off another council member, referred to in the documents as Councilperson A, in return for a promise to promote a referendum with Mayor Rawlings on an issue of importance and interest to Mr. Hamilton. He wrote a $7,000 check to Councilperson A. Hamilton also sought future official action by Councilperson A regarding an additional housing project in the city of Dallas. Councilperson A agreed to facilitate and promote the referendum item, and also agreed to provide future official action on the housing money in return, on the housing project in return for money to cover his personal expenses.